Aurora and Arthur Petrova, the Barbie disaster at the Idrissis house. It is Saturday, the 20th of July, 2019, in Springfield, Chelmsford, where the lawn is exceptionally green. At 33 Falmouth Road, the atmosphere is heavy and thick, for Petrova is packing his bags, moving house with a click. He is 48, a lead pastor with glasses of sapphire blue, incensed by the clutter, for he has far too much to do. His black BMW estate sits like a beetle on the drive, while Aurora, aged 12, feels barely alive. Her mood is abysmal, her fake fringe is shaking with dread, for the move to Birmingham is a dark cloud over her head. She screams for the 174 bus, her soul's only ecstasy, viewing the West Midlands as a cruel, cold catastrophe. Maria is 42, her hair wound in two golden brown buns, wearing orange from head to toe, avoiding the heat of the suns. She conceals the scars on her arms from a kettle disaster long ago, when she was scalded accidentally, a pain that continues to grow. Arthur, aged 11 and a half, is quite ready and eager to go. He is the apple of her eye, a sweet, shimmering glow, whose green glasses sparkle as he helps with the hem. Arthur is ecstatic for the move, a bright, polished gem. He longs for George Salter Academy, his heart full of light, while Aurora views his joy as a repulsive, sickening sight. "Hurry up, you little cunt," she snaps at her brother with hate, while Maria sighs at the time, for they are already quite late. They arrive in Rayleigh at 23 Great Wheatley Road, where the Idrissis magnificent mansion is a Moroccan-styled abode. The sun is a scorching orb, a pathetic fallacy for Aurora's dark heart, as she vows that this suburban barbecue will be torn completely apart. Dixon Idrissi emerges, his greeting a cacophonous, "Salam, my friend." Petar replies in Bulgarian, "Dobre," as the two families blend. The driveway is crowded with luxury cars and the scent of the grill, but the monotony of joy only serves to make Aurora feel ill. She misses the TfL buses, the rhythmic hum of the street, finding this Essex gathering to be a dismal, pretentious conceit. She watches the men shake hands, her eyes two slits of pink glass, hating the way the sunlight dances on the manicured grass. Farah Idrissi, 42 and elegant, greets Maria with a hug, while the garden is decorated with many a North African rug. "Habibi, you look loquacious in orange," Farah says with a grin, unaware of the treacherous sabotage that is about to begin. The swimming pool shimmers, a turquoise jewel under the sky, as Maria explains her scars in French, un accident, with a sigh. Aurora watches them, her mind a cauldron of simmering spite, determined to extinguish every flicker of the party's bright light. The loquacious chatter is a swarm of bees in her ear, as she waits for the perfect moment to instigate fear. She feels like a discarded piece of rubbish, a girl on borrowed time, preparing to commit a social and culinary crime. In the corner of the garden, a Dalmatian named Harlow resides, a sophisticated creature who in formal English oratory prides. "The lack of decorum in this heat is quite exacerbated," she states, looking at Aurora, whose anger is bubbling like the meat on the plates. Harlow loves the color pink, but she senses a foul, dark intent, as Aurora eyes the garden hose with a look of malicious bent. The dog spots are symmetrical, her posture is regal and grand, while Kiev the ginger cat sneers from where the flower pots stand. Kiev is a waste of space, a ginger tabby with a cynical eye, watching the humans perform under the relentless blue sky. "Such infantile creatures," Kiev purrs with a twitch of his tail, knowing that Aurora's dark mission is unlikely to fail. The charcoal is glowing, a furnace of orange and searing white heat, where David Idrissi, aged 12, is waiting for something to eat. Aurora seizes the nozzle, the water pressure is heavy and strong, and she begins to vandalize the grill, doing David quite wrong. The fire dies with a hiss, SSSST, a cacophonous cloud of wet soot as she drops the hose by Arthur's very own sandaled right foot. Oh no, Arthur tripped. He did it accidentally. She lies with a shout, while the charcoal turns into a gray, sodden mess beyond any doubt. David looks on in horror, his lunch now a watery, charred pile, while Aurora hides her triumph behind a fake, innocent smile. The barbecue is ruined, the fire of friendship gone cold, as Aurora's manipulation begins to take hold. Kakvo pravish? Petar roars, his blue glasses sliding down, as he stares at Arthur with a terrifying pastoral frown. You've ruined the barbecue, you clumsy, idiotic little shit. Look at the mess you have made. You've extinguished every last bit. Arthur is stunned, his green glasses fogging with sudden hot tears as his father's reprimand confirms his worst, darkest fears. It wasn't me, Dad. I was just standing right over there. But Petar is incensed, his hands pulling at his own thinning hair. Aurora saw you. She said you tripped. Don't lie to my face. The boy feels like a wasteman, a total and utter disgrace. His protests are futile, a whisper in a hurricane of blame, as his father brands him with the mark of eternal shame. Kiev, the ginger tabby cat, watches the scene from a high wall. An antagonist by nature, he finds the human drama a total thrall. Preposterous behavior, he sneers in a voice quite refined, as Aurora finds a box of rat poison of the most notorious kind. She sprinkles the blue pellets on the burgers, a seasoning of death, while Kiev the cat watches her, holding his feline, fishy breath. She accidentally drops some on her shoe, but wipes it away with a rag, stowing the remaining toxins in her pink designer bag. I'll put the box in Arthur's pocket, she whispers with glee, ensuring the contamination is blamed on him, not on me. Such a repulsive child, Kiev purrs, grooming a ginger paw, watching Aurora ignore every moral and legal law. Aurora sneaks back to the lawn where the children all play, determined to sabotage the Idrissis' most wonderful Saturday. She spots Arthur's discarded shorts by the edge of the pool and plants the poison box there, feeling cunning and cruel. She watches him splash, oblivious to her spiteful dark game, ensuring that her brother will bear the weight of the blame. You're a waste of space, Arthur, she mutters under her breath, as she prepares to serve the guests their seasoning of death. Her elation is growing, a poison that blooms in her chest, as she prepares to put her brother's innocence to the final test. She alienates herself from the joy of the sun and the heat, waiting for the moment her sabotage is fully complete. Petar finds the poison box tucked in Arthur's green shorts and ignores the boy's desperate, high-pitched, sobbing retorts. You would poison our friends? You absolute, bloody wanker. He shakes Arthur hard, his heart filled with a pastoral rancor. Zashto si tolkova losha, he cries, his Bulgarian sharp and cold, while Arthur is inconsolable, his spirit beginning to fold. Into the storeroom, a sanction for your murderous heart. Petar drags him away, tearing the boy's world completely apart. Mariha watches in silence, her orange clothes vibrant and bright, but her heart is a cavern of shadow, devoid of any light. Arthur is a pariah, a boy who has fallen from grace, as he is led from the garden with a tear-streaked pale face. Arthur is locked in the dark of the small, dusty storeroom, where the scent of old cardboard contributes to the gloom. Daniel Idrissis peeks through the slats, his face full of sadness, unable to comprehend his friend's sudden, dark madness. I didn't do it, Daniel. Arthur whispers through the wood, wishing that his father or mother finally understood. Daniel offers a toy car through the gap in the door, while Arthur sits huddled on the cold, concrete floor. The boy is crestfallen, his elation for Birmingham dead, as Aurora's cruel lies swirl around in his head. He feels the weight of the dire situation he's in, punished so harshly for his sister's dark sin. Farah brings out the masterpiece, the party's great pride. A 3-tier cream cake with strawberries layered inside. It is a sugary mountain, a vision of ivory and red. "This will cheer everyone up," the hostess excitedly said. Maria looks at the cake, her bun slightly askew, thinking of the joy that the family once knew. "It is magnificent, Farah," she says with a forced, weary smile, hiding her misery beneath a thin layer of style. The cake sits on the table, a target of sweet, creamy white, as Aurora prepares to unleash her final dark spite. The guests gather round, their hunger beginning to peak, unaware of the havoc that Aurora is about to wreak. But Aurora moves in with the speed of a strike-hungry snake, aiming to cause pandemonium with the great tiered cake. With a roar of "Bollocks to Birmingham," she strikes the sweet treat, turning the cream into a massacre, a messy defeat. Splat! The tears collapse in a pile of white foam and red fruit as she screams, "Arthur escaped! He's the cake-smashing brute!" The cream hits the rug, an abysmal and sticky white stain, as Aurora pretends to be racked with sibling-born pain. She smashes her fist into the sponge with a wet, thudding sound, sending strawberry slices scattered all over the ground. The elation of the party is obliterated in one single blow, as the cream and the jam begin their slow, sugary flow. Maria rushes over, her orange sleeves covered in spray, as Aurora begins her most devious and dark display. "He ran past me, Mummy. He was screaming and wild. He's become such a hateful and infantile child." Aurora smothers her face in a mask of deceptive sorrow, caring nothing for the consequences of a dark, gray tomorrow. Maria is incensed, her scars throbbing under her skin, believing her son has committed the ultimate sin. "That little cunt," Maria cries, her voice sharp as a blade. "After all of the sacrifices that your father has made." Aurora watches her mother, a secret smirk on her face, as Arthur is framed as the family's greatest disgrace. Dixon comes out, not with anger but a phone in his hand, to thwart the foul scheme that Aurora had so carefully planned. "Enough of this shite," he declares, his voice ringing out clear. "The truth of this Barbie disaster is finally, quite literally, here." He points to a lens hidden deep in the Moroccan wall stone, a security camera that watches the garden, entirely alone. Petar looks at the screen, his sapphire glasses reflecting the light, seeing Aurora's manipulation in the full, unedited sight. The sibilance of the crowd dies down to a hushed, heavy breath as they watch Aurora season the burgers with death. Dixon's thumb swipes the screen, the footage playing on, as the veil of Aurora's deception is finally withdrawn. The video shows the grill, the hose, and the steam, exposing the girl's truly notorious, dark-hearted scheme. Maria watches the screen, her mouth hanging open in shock, as the evidence against Aurora begins to firmly interlock. They see her reach for the hose, they see the deliberate aim, they see her drop it by Arthur to give him the blame. "Accidentally, my arse," Dixon mutters with a scowl, as the footage reveals an act that is truly and utterly foul. Maria feels faint, her elation for the party now dead, as the reality of her daughter's spite fills up her head. The oxymoron of a pastor's daughter acting so vile is displayed on the screen in a digital, incriminating file. Then comes the cake, the strike and the scream and the lie, watched by the parents with a heavy and tear-filled eye. Petar turns to Aurora, his face a dark shade of maroon, as the party atmosphere deflates like a punctured balloon. "You lied to me, Aurora. You framed your own brother, you bitch. You've thrown our whole family into a deep, filthy ditch." Aurora stands frozen, her pink glasses reflecting her shame, as she realizes there is no one left she can possibly blame. The sabotage has backfired. The retaliate plan is in tatters, as her father bellows about all the things that truly matters. Her fake fringe is limp, her bunches are messy and wild, as she is revealed as a wretched and manipulative child. Petar runs to the storeroom and throws open the door, finding Arthur curled up on the hard, dusty floor. "I am sorry, my son," he whispers, his voice thick with regret, "an abysmal mistake that I shall never, ever forget." He helps Arthur up, brushing the dust from his green cotton sleeves, as the boy looks at his father and finally, truly believes. "Aurora did it all, Arthur. We saw it on the screen." The boy's green glasses sparkle, though his face is still lean. They walk back to the garden, past the ruined, cream-covered rugs, as Arthur receives a flurry of desperate, apologetic hugs. The elation returns to his heart, albeit tempered with pain, as the sun starts to set over the blood-red strawberry stain. Marija confronts Aurora by the turquoise, still pool, her voice like an Arctic wind, unyielding and cool. "You are banned from the buses. You are grounded for years. I do not care for your fake and your crocodile tears." Aurora is out of bounds, her freedom a thing of the past, as her notorious reputation is finally and firmly cast. "You will move to Birmingham, and you will sit in your room. A prison of silence, of shadows, of boredom and gloom." Aurora tries to retaliate, to scream and to shout, but she knows that her influence has finally run out. She is a pariah, a girl who has lost every friend, as her summer of sabotage comes to a crashing dark end. July the 20th ends with a drive back to the town, as the sun on the black BMW finally goes down. Arthur sits in the back, thinking of his new green-walled school, feeling ecstatic and happy, breaking every Petrova rule. Aurora sits beside him, her heart a cold black stone, feeling entirely, utterly, and miserably alone. Birmingham awaits them, a city of steel and of gray, where Arthur will flourish and Aurora will waste quite away. Harlow the dog watches them go, with a regal pink sigh, while Kiev the cat winks a cynical ginger-furred eye. The Barbie disaster is over, the wreckage is cleared from the sight, as the Petrovas drive through the cold Essex midsummer night.